Hey, morning folks, Brian here. It's Monday, February 2nd, 2026. So, through all my reporting, I give you my maturity, maybe a little bit aged wisdom, integrity. Sometimes I go a little bit wacko. I give you my daily observations, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly observations. I'll put together a hypothesis, a theory, suggestion, and I'll try and give you the outcome. So I'm going to give you a couple of things. I'm going to give you a facts, and I'm going to give you my observations. Very few may not like what I have to say. Whatever. Oh, yeah, I've got a bit of an attitude. So let's go through some facts. In agriculture, you must have your fertilizers. If you do not have your fertilizers, you will have no plant growth, production, nothing. You'll have no food. Now, I'm not into big scale agriculture, but as you know, I do grow my own food, a lot of it. So I know what has to go in to be successful in soil preparation, which includes your fertilizers, and at regular intervals throughout the growth cycle of a plant, a vegetable. You have to reapply your fertilizers. So I know the importance of fertilizers. I mean, I use only organic. America, this is for America. You better start preparing yourself, because you're not going to have any food on your plate by the end of the year, period, because of certain things that's happening. So potash, which is the primary ingredient in fertilizer, it comes to 3 places in the world: Saskatchewan, Canada, Belarus, and Russia. Now, someone down on your side of the border having his late night temper tantrum tweets without any education said he's going to apply very severe, harsh, very severe tariffs on Canadian fertilizer. I hope people are starting to wake up that's not going to, I mean, we just go, whatever, man. Hey, go ahead and do it. We have so many other people we can sell to. But what people don't realize is that's a harsh tax, TAX, on the American farmers. They have to absorb that cost. They're going to pass it on to you. Okay. The other 2 places, Belarus, which Trump applied sanctions, and he subsequently lifted them. So Belarus, they already have their established customer base. So if they're going to sell to the United States, they're going to have to say, well, okay, we have to make sacrifices to our existing clients in order to supply America. The problem is, Belarus is in the middle of nowhere. They don't have ocean ports, okay? So they have to transport it throughout Russia. So they either have to go north to St. Petersburg to the Baltic, or all the way around Ukraine down in the Black Sea. I don't think that's going to happen. It takes many weeks to several months to transport bulk potash on cargo ships. If they're willing to sell to the United States. So Putin is going to decide whether or not... I had a malfunction on my phone while I was driving, so I had to finish it here. So what was I saying? Putin is going to determine how much food Americans have on their plates later this year, which is really true. Now, one of the excuses used by a certain somebody is to encourage production of potash in the United States. One problem: you don't have it underneath your feet, okay? It doesn't exist, or it doesn't exist in enough finer quality, okay? You don't have it. So you're going to spend billions and billions of dollars. It's going to take years and years and years to build these mines and the required infrastructure that has to go along with it for low quality and not enough. What are you going to be eating later on this year and in the consecutive years? So the southern United States farmlands needs to start prepping their soil this month. Can anybody tell me, along the eastern seaboard ports, do you have cargo ships lined up right now with the required infrastructure to offload bulk potash? Do you have that right now? Has it already arrived from Belarus or Russia? Because if it hasn't, and unless somebody changes his mind, you're going to have massive crop failures. These are facts. Now I'm going to switch over to my observations. I have shown you my observations and what they're doing to the skies over America, almost the entire country of the United States, which is really sad. They're using many, many dozens, if not hundreds of aircraft. This is not a Bill Gates funded operation to try and dim the sun because of the false narrative of global warming. That's not it. This is a U.S. funded operation. I've shown you the videos of the massive chemtrail going on off coast Carolinas and Georgia, off coast Florida and over Florida and so forth. Creating the ice storms and the snowstorms. So when they know there's going to be a polar vortex, which compresses the Arctic air and forces it down into lower latitudes, as far south as Florida, when they see that's going to happen, then you apply their chemicals in the atmosphere to create moisture. That moisture is going to be frozen rain and snow and so forth. That is the observation. So I'll give you some facts and I'll give you my observations. Just put an equal sign after that. Why are they, the U.S. government, doing this? They want to starve you out. It's my opinion. They want to starve you out. They want to make it so that you don't have the fertilizer for your startup, your soil preps, and the continual application of fertilizer to ensure maximum yield of your crops. If you saturate the soils with excessive rains or ice and snow, when you need to start preparing those soils, soil preparation, just like I show you in my gardening videos, you're going to be off schedule. You're going to be too late. Even if you start getting some crops going, what if they start doing this weather manipulation, creation, just before harvest? They're trying to starve you out. I'm sorry, I cannot see any other reasonable explanation. Okay. Why is he denying your farmers affordable access to the closest major supplier of potash right there at your back door, connected by rail lines, right there? Why is this being done? Why is he forcing farmers to stress them out even more, to pay even more? And forcing farmers to try and source potash from the other side of the planet and pay those extra shipping costs. Why is this being done? Do you have shipments lined up off the eastern seaboard right now offloading potash? Why are they doing these massive spraying campaigns to create these weather systems. They spray for different reasons. Yes, I know they spray for good. They do it in Indonesia, offshore in the oceans, to try and make the cloud systems dump their rainfall over the oceans rather than land. So they do it for good reasons. But what they're doing right now over America is not for a good reason. Anyway, folks, I'm just passing on to you what I think.